All right, welcome to the explainer. So, we've all been there, right? You've got this one small, super efficient team that's just crushing it with Agile. And of course, leadership sees this and says, great, let's just do that everywhere. But what happens? Instead of scaling success, you just get, well, chaos. Today, we're diving into Johanna Rothman's work to look at a much, much better way to think about this: Agile program management. I mean, just picture it. Your little team is in the zone, you're flying, you're responsive, you're shipping stuff that actually matters. And then that email lands, that directive from on high. We need to scale this Agile thing across the whole company. The intention, totally good. But the result, it almost always ends up being the complete opposite of what made you so successful to begin with.
Because, let's be honest, just copy-pasting what one team does onto 50 other teams, that doesn't scale success, it just scales the overhead. All of a sudden, you're drowning in endless meetings, tangled in dependencies, and actual real progress just grinds to a halt. Johanna Rothman has a great word for this: bloat. And it is the absolute enemy of real agility.
Okay, so this is where we have to make a really fundamental shift in our thinking. The goal isn't to scale Agile. Forget that phrase for a second. The real goal is to manage a whole program of work using Agile principles. It's about shifting our focus from just team-level tactics to a much bigger organization-wide strategy.
And this quote from Rothman it absolutely nails it. See, we're not trying to make Agile bigger. We're using its core ideas to manage a program effectively. It's all about lifting our heads up and looking beyond our individual teams to the entire value stream.
So what exactly is a program? It's not just a really big project. No, a program is a whole strategic thing. It brings together a bunch of different projects, software development, marketing, sales, even legal, all aimed at one single shared business goal. The classic example? Launching a new smartphone. That's a program. Building the camera software. That's a project inside the program.
So program management, then, is the art of getting all those moving parts to work together. But, and this is crucial, forget the old-school top-down command and control style. That's not what this is. We're talking about servant leadership here, facilitating, clearing roadblocks, and basically empowering all the teams to deliver that value together.
Okay, so how do you actually structure your organization to make all this collaboration happen? I mean, this is where the rubber really meets the road, right? It all boils down to two things: how your teams are formed and how they take ownership of their own work.
You know the old way, right? A manager commits to the work for their team and then just pushes it down. Well, in an Agile program, that's flipped on its head. The cross-functional teams, the people actually doing the work, they're the ones empowered to make their own commitments. It's a massive shift from a rigid hierarchy to a collaborative network.
And this whole network is built around two essential teams. First, you have the core team. Think of this as the business leadership. Marketing, sales, legal, they figure out the what and the why. Then you have the software program team. They coordinate the technical delivery, the how. And what this does is create this incredibly powerful bridge, making sure the business strategy and the technical reality are always, always in sync.
So with this new collaborative structure, that old way of doing things, creating a massive, super detailed plan up front, that just doesn't work anymore. It's obsolete. You need a totally different way to give everyone direction, while still leaving room to be agile and to learn as you go.
And you do that with two key things. First up is the program charter. Think of this as your North Star. It's a really simple, clear document that lays out the program's why, the shared vision, the purpose, what done even means. It gets everybody on the same page before a single line of code gets written. Then, you have the Agile roadmap. Now, let me be super clear. This is not a Gantt chart with hard dates. It's a high-level wish list. It just shows the general direction you're heading. It gives context, not concrete promises.
So a roadmap like this just breaks down those big, chunky themes into smaller feature sets. It shows a possible sequence, sure, but it's a living document. It's designed to be updated all the time as the teams deliver work and as we learn more. You got to think of it like a map, not a GPS with a route that's locked in. And that leads us to the real engine that drives this whole thing, creating a steady, predictable rhythm of delivery. And look, this isn't just about going fast for the sake of going fast. It's about creating a constant feedback loop that, cuts down on risk and builds up real momentum.
One of the most critical things you can do here is to separate your releases into two types. You've got your internal releases, which should happen often, like monthly, maybe even more. The whole point of these is to integrate all the work, get fast feedback, and just show progress. Then you have your external releases, the ones that go to actual customers. Those are a totally separate strategic business decision, and separating these two, it's an absolute game changer for reducing risk.
Yeah, that regular internal cadence, say once a month, is huge. It builds so much trust because now leadership and all the other departments can actually see working software all the time. It completely demystifies the whole development process. It replaces that nervous anxiety with actual confidence. It really creates a dependable heartbeat for the entire program.
So how do you manage all this? Well, transparency is your absolute best friend. Get a simple program-level Kanban board up. Make all the work visible. And I don't just mean the software tasks. I mean marketing stuff, legal reviews, training docs, the whole shebang. When you do that, everyone can see the flow of value, instantly spot where things are getting stuck, and then work together to clear those bottlenecks.
Okay, so let's wrap this all up. The big shift here from just scaling Agile to doing real Agile program management, it's all a mindset thing. It's about understanding you don't scale a process, you scale collaboration. It's about leading by serving your teams, not driving them. You're planning continuously with a roadmap that can change, and you're creating a rhythm of delivery to get that constant feedback. It's a whole new way of working.
So we've just walked through a whole new framework for handling growth without all the bloat and complexity. And that leaves you with a question, really. What is the one small thing you can do, maybe even tomorrow, to start shifting your own program's focus away from just scaling a process and toward truly scaling collaboration? Thanks for tuning in.